Holla if you hear me. Nobody hollered. Before we get to this review, we totally muffed the punt. We did a pre-show, and the whole point is, every year you draw the thing, you draw the number out of the hat. We said, oh, we forgot. So all the salsa sharks, all the salsas. We're going to do it on camera, just so we can be a part of this, because we love Kevin Bacon, right?
Yes, we love Kevin Bacon.
We love Kevin Bacon. Whoop, that one doesn't count, apparently. Put it back in there.
Right.
Witness, put it back in there. It's in there. Don't pick that one. That one's
Right.
bad luck.
I got 21.
12. Oh, 21. Who's 21? We will look this up
Later.
I know a couple people. We'll get to my number a little later because we want to talk about who my number was. Oh, well, I'm excited. All right, but can't see it. Anyways, we'll start this show off. I didn't get to see that. Oh, God. Don't remind me. I had almost forgotten.
You said it, not me.
I had almost forgotten. But this is the Royal Rumble 2013 preview. Preview. Pay-per-view. Review of the pay-per-view. But it was January 27th, 2013, and here we are. There was a 4-match card. Nothing else got added. We thought it would. The pre-show, Cesaro beat Miz. So that's awesome. So yeah, then the show started off. World Heavyweight title can't get a break. It's like, hey, you're going to kick off all the shows. So it had the last man standing match, Alberto Del Rio versus Big Show. We cared so much about this that we
drove through the freezing rain to get pizza from Pizza Hut that a bunch of little kids ate.
Yeah. Hey, that was our pizza. That was our pizza. But, yeah, that's what happened during this match. I mean, I watched it because I had to watch to make sure the kids didn't steal stuff. Stealing stuff. Cheese. Onions. Making a mean omelet. But, yeah, so this match was... I didn't watch the SmackDown one, so I can't say if it was better or worse. It was doomed for the start for me because I just was not into it anyways, so it would have had to do some wild stuff. And there was a couple... I mean, they went up on the stage and they climbed a little bit up the thing and he choke slammed Del Rio off and then he got up like it was nothing. I was like, oh. So apparently getting choke slammed off of the top of the thing through a table onto the cement is not a big deal. Got up like 8. I'm gonna do it for the hood. I was like, okay.
The streets need this.
The streets needed Alberto Del Rio tonight, I guess. And then the end of the match comes. Should have seen this before. We should have seen it coming. What do you normally do when you're in a last man standing match type situation and the guy you're fighting is way bigger than you and there's no way you can ever keep him down?
You use something to hold him down.
You use something to hold him down, a.k.a. duct tape this time. Ricardo said, hey! He tapes the Big Show down. Del Rio's putting the arm breaker on him while this is happening. He gets up. Obviously, he's taped to the rope, so he can't stand up. Alberto Del Rio retains the World Heavyweight title. It wasn't even... when it was a last man standing match, you would think to, like, in your head, you're like, okay, this match will be kind of like where at the end, you want Ziggler to come out. But they did it to the point where there was no chance Ziggler was going to come out because Del Rio was 100% fresh, up running around, So it's like, I was like, oh, it's kind of a downer because even if Dolph didn't come out, half the fun is thinking he's going to come out.
Yeah.
And they didn't even give us that because Del Rio just running around. Like, at least make him look like hold his stomach, something.
Dude,
like,
Del Rio's a badass, man.
Oh, yeah. He got up at 8 after he chokeslammed off a freaking, off the top of the, logo. I was like, okay. But yeah, so that's the only thing, because I wanted Del Rio to win, but that's the only thing I would have changed is if you weren't going to have Dolph cash in, at least give the, thought, like, oh, crap, is Dolph going to come out or not? But we didn't get any of that. The only other match that wasn't one of the big ones that we were talking about, but a pretty good match nonetheless, was the Tag Team Championship match between Team Hell No and the Rhodes Scholars.
Team Hell No picks up that W.
Yep.
Yep.
How did they get? Oh, D. Bryan made Sandow tap, right?
Yep.
Tapped out of the no lock. It was a pretty good match.
Solid.
We both
Made them
picked
look
it wrong, but it's
formidable.
fine. It's fine. But yeah, at least it was. They didn't. Yeah, it wasn't like a squash where you're like, oh, they had no shot of ever beating.
They planted seeds for something that's going to last for 400 days that they're going to blow off for something that's not even that cool. Yeah, I'm winning over clean, man.
He's salty right now.
I'm so
I don't even give a shit. He's not going to ruin my mood.
All
you internet fans are fucked. Who gives a shit?
Dude, I hopped on Twitter, man. All the guys who were like, it doesn't help anybody out. We're all freaking out. So
I hate them.
They can't sit there and be like, oh man, this was bad this was blah, blah, blah.
I hate them.
Hate them.
I hate them.
Hate them.
Hate them.
Hate them.
But yeah. So like you said, it was even enough where it's not like they had no shot. So it doesn't make the Road Scholars look like well you guys suck. You better get out of here. So I like that part. Again, I wish we made the whole thing where what we wanted this to bring about, but it still could happen as we saw later. But and it's cool because I'm sure Rhodes. I don't know if they'll get another shot like immediately, but hopefully they do because I don't know any other tag teams that are gonna unless they just like vacate the belts. Like, no, we don't want these belts, and they have a big tournament, and it's like tag teams. But and then we got to the Royal Rumble match, and it started early. We're like, it's already. Here we are.
Hour into the show.
Yeah, we're like, wow, this is going to be a long Rumble. But I guess it went pretty long. Yeah,
it did.
It didn't go as long as I thought because the main event got a lot more time than I thought it would. As far as like, well, I guess they need entrances too. So it went the main event was probably 45 minutes total, like start to finish. But it was long. But once the Rumble started, we knew Dolph was going to be 1 or 2. Dolph comes out 1 with AJ and Big E. He grabs the mic. That's been a trend lately. The first guy, Punk did it a couple years ago, or 2 years ago. And who was last year? Miz did it last year. Then A-Rod came out. But yeah, so this year Dolph got the mic, and it was just basically, this is my night.
Punk did it 3 years ago.
And 2 years ago.
He did it with the Nexus stuff.
Yeah, he did it with the.
I thought it was him and Daniel Bryan at the start 2 years ago.
Yeah, because he came out and he started talking. Or no, he didn't talk, but he was number 1.
Yeah.
And then the core and those, the core rules. We missed that guy. I don't remember where we knew him from.
He was on here.
He was on the Dubbies. He would always come on J-Dub's videos.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
On the side shelf. That's what it was. Oh, I missed the core rules. We knew him so little, yet we knew him so much. But yeah, so Dolph comes out 1. And the last thing he says is he's like, I'm so ready. I don't care who number 2 is. Just send him out. And, obviously we thought
Cena,
yeah. Like, because Dolph and him have had that thing. But no. The lights go out. The second entrant in the Royal Rumble. Chris Jericho is back. We all freaked out just because it was a genuine shock. They kept this under wraps very well.
Yeah.
Because normally you hear about the Rumble entrance, and we did hear about the Rumble entrance this year, and none of them were in it. So that was a good swerve, I guess, and they fooled us all. I was really looking forward to seeing Shelton, though.
Yeah, it's weird when they put guys in there who are booked in like March. Like Kevin Steve cuts a promo on YouTube about how he's going to fight John Morrison, and all of a sudden we're supposed to believe John Morrison's supposed to come out.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Like he's going to totally blow off that thing, but yeah, it was. We kept waiting for Shelton Benjamin and Hurricane Helms and all these guys, which really I would only cared about Shelton Benjamin. Out of
Shelton
those
Benjamin,
3.
get in there.
Oh, I love Shelton Benjamin. I was kind of pissed.
Get in there.
But Jericho was number 2. He had a new tat.
Yeah.
He had a new tat. He had longer hair. He was ready to rock. And him and Dolph had really good showings. Really good showings. Who were some other people that were early in the Rumble? Sheamus came out like 11.
Something like that.
That was weird. Yeah, he came out like 11. I know Cena was 19. Earlier.
There's some other solid people at the start.
Yeah, Santino.
Ray Barrett had a solid run.
Yeah, Barrett had a good showing.
Cody Rhodes came out 3, and he had a really.
That's
good
who
run.
was. Yeah, I was the first 4. Kofi was 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first 4 were solid, and then Santino came out. Timeout. And then 3MB started coming out. Jinder Mahal got the lucky number 27, Ooh, the dreaded 14 went to Rey.
He's done for.
Does the curse continue, Rey Mysterio? He's already been injury prone out the ass, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh yeah.
But
Godfather came back for 2 seconds.
the Godfather came out with the hose. Hey, just 2 hose, not the train. It's PG.
Yeah, no hoe train.
The whole caboose.
Associates.
Yeah, it was just his associates. He gets in there, gets eliminated very quickly, gets out and says, "Hey, shit happens." Puts his coat back on and walks on out.
Goldust came out.
Goldust came out. That was actually cool when Cody was just waiting for him. Him and Goldust had some. Was there anybody else? Were there any other returns? Jericho, Godfather, Goldust. Was there anybody else?
There was another one I can see in my mind.
I can't remember. I'm trying to think. Oh, Bo Dallas had a really good showing until him and Barrett. It looks like him and Barrett are going to spin off and maybe have an IC title down the line because Bo Dallas eliminated Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett came back into the ring and eliminated him and then gave him the elbow. So that might go somewhere. It seems like there was one more guy that was like a return, but I can't think of who it would have been. Because Kane and Daniel Bryan. I think you got D. Bryan. D. Bryan was 21. Because it went Cena, Daniel Bryan. Yeah, you got the DB. That's a lucky draw right there.
Kept my #1 favorite wrestler.
That's a lucky draw right there. But, oh my gosh. I can't, yeah.
Daniel Bryan and Kane foreshadowing the break.
Right, that's what it was. Daniel Bryan ends up eliminating Kane, and then Daniel Bryan gets thrown over the rope. He jumps in, and Kane catches him. Daniel Bryan's like, "Put me back in there." No, put me back in there. And then he brings him over, and he acts like he's going to put him down. He pulls him away, and Daniel Bryan falls. And Kane started back, the crowd was booing. Like, "Oh, heel turn. We wanted to see DB." But yeah, so
the Dazzler.
The Dazzler sign on the front was awesome. All the familiar faces were there. We Hate Cena guy, Bork Laser guy, Clown guy, white suit jacket guy.
Tensai was number 2.
Oh, Tensai was in there.
No, he's still in the company.
I didn't know Tensai still wrestled. We had Otunga Saidi.
No,
who was number 30?
Ryback.
Oh, yeah. At the Ryback came in. Sheamus last all the way from 11 to the end. The final 4 ended up being Dolph, right?
Yeah.
Dolph and the NBC, the New Breakfast Club. We had Sheamus, Ryback, and John Cena. John Cena has carried the torch into the NBC, the New Breakfast Club, leaving behind the old Breakfast Club, as apparently
Orton hit like 30 RKOs.
Orton, the only Cena Orton. I was guilty pleasure looking for some Cena Orton interaction. He RKO'd the shit out of him, but there was no interaction between Orton and Cena. They were just ignoring each other. I was like, whatever. But yeah, the final 4, like we said, Dolph and the NBC. And Dolph gets eliminated. Do you remember who eliminated Dolph? I honestly don't.
Sheamus.
Oh, that dick. All of a sudden, yeah, when it got down to the final 3, I was hardcore cheering for Ryback. When you are hardcore cheering for Ryback, the other choices must be bad news. Like, oh my gosh, like
I just gave up at that point.
I was like, well, let's go Ryback. That's the only hope I had was Ryback because I'm like, okay, well, at least they'll try to do something with Ryback because they're trying to build him. But nope, like our good friend Schlegel said, the great downfall of John Cena that they just shot him down for a whole year and it was so sad gets an immediate build back up. No build at all. It's just, I'm good again. But Sheamus got eliminated. The final 2 were Ryback and Cena. They had a face-off for a little bit. Not too. I mean, it wasn't as long as Jericho and Sheamus last year, obviously, but they had their little thing going on. And then all of a sudden, I think Cena just or Ryback, I don't even remember. He picked him up, spun over the rope. Ryback got eliminated. Cena starts freaking out, and it was like, I feel like I've seen this scene before. And we have, back in 2008. But I guess we all tried to talk ourselves out of it that, the Royal Rumble commercial was too, predictable. Oh, Cena's not going to win. He's in the commercial. All the guys are predicting who's going to win. Then it shows Cena give that grin like, oh, well, I'm going to win. So they're idiots. The commercial knew what they were talking about.
Always do.
Damn it. It just seemed too obvious. Like, I had convinced myself it's too obvious. There's no way. They wouldn't put a commercial where everyone's like, Ryback's going to win. Oh, Sheamus is gonna win, and no one says Cena, and then it shows Cena at the bar and goes. I should have seen it coming, but I thought it was too obvious. But nothing is too obvious when it comes to Superman.
No.
So he wins. Like we said, he does his little. She pretty much did the Santino trumpet. He was in a good mood. I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess women and children can be loud, so I feel like because I thought it was gonna be boos aplenty, but there was a lot of cheers. But obviously, it's because a lot of people like Cena, but a lot of people dislike Cena as well.
And at least we stand by it and don't say, "Oh, well."
Yeah. Well, I think I see where they're going here because what happens is it's a build. No, this wasn't a build. It was like this. Oh. No, it wasn't even this. It just warp. Like, what would make more sense? What happened here, or he gets? Because is that their excuse? Oh, we gave him a bad year. Well, if you have a bad year, you've been bad all year. One superstar of the year. Wouldn't you kind of like slowly have to work your way up? You wouldn't just be like, I'm good again.
No, you're a Batman, right? Where Batman goes through all
that.
He goes through all that tough stuff, ends up in the
prison.
Yeah, the prison. He just hops out the first opportunity he gets, and there's no adversity. He doesn't have to learn anything new.
That's a good point.
And he emerges the same Batman he fell in there.
That's a good point.
Yeah, come on.
No. Hopefully, Man of Steel doesn't follow that story arc.
Right.
The story arc of John Cena.
Man of Steel. Yeah, right. Come on.
So yeah, John Cena becomes a 2-time Royal Rumble winner, even though he should be a 3-time because in 2005 or whatever, that whole thing that they tried to land at the same time, they didn't, but they still tried to go with it. But yeah, Cena wins. He's going to WrestleMania.
Quad, right?
Oh yeah, I hadn't seen that Rumble until this morning, and I said, "Who shot Vince McMahon?" He just goes, I said, he just slides back, and he was just sitting there like this, like he was so pissed he couldn't even stand, like, this bullshit. I was like, what is he doing? And then I remembered hearing about that he popped both his quads, and I'm like, how are they going to get out of this? I was like, how's he going to get out of the ring? But anyway, that's another story for another day. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I didn't know it was that Rumble, and then it happened, and I lost it. Oh, Cena, Batista, and Vince McMahon. But then we got to the main event, and it was like, well, might be twice in 2 years. And if it's not twice in a year, it would be 7 times in the past 24 or 35 days, you know?
Yeah, jeez.
Something like that. So we're like, well, crap. That's why I was hoping anybody but Sheamus. Anybody but Sheamus and Cena, because then it would be like, if Ryback would have won it, would have at least, like, out of the 3. Not like, but out of the 3, it would have been at least like, oh, okay, what are they going to do with Ryback? Like, you know, it's not like certain he's going to do a certain thing to where if obviously Cena is not going to say, you know what, Del Rio, I didn't like you 2 years ago. So it was like, well, whoever wins this match is facing Cena unless something shifty happens at the Chamber, which it usually doesn't, but you never know. This match went probably, I don't know, 30 minutes or so after the whole like restart thing or whatever.
Yeah.
It was, you know, it was all right. There was at the first of the match, there was way too much. You're out of the ring. Now I'll come out there. And we're back. Now you're out of the ring again. Oh, I'm back here. Yeah. And now you're out of the ring. Okay, walk around. And maybe they're pacing themselves. I don't know what they were doing, but it just got so repetitive to the point where it's like, okay, we get it. Now come back in.
Well, I mean, they stay in the ring. What are they going to do? They're not going to go technical because the Rock is not in technical ability right now.
Mm-hmm.
You don't not wrestle for basically 10 years.
Right.
Aside from like 4 times, go out there and have a sequence of 25 moves with flips and stuff.
Uh-huh.
You go outside, you turn into a little brawling match.
Right.
And the brawling
it
had to be more much. It had to be more one-sided because people still like Punk.
Yeah, you couldn't just have like a total beat. I mean, like a total like.
Yeah, they booked it as if Punk was the bad guy.
Yeah.
But Punk's not the bad guy. 35% of the fans there. I'll give Rock the majority percentage, and I'll give Rock the people. He has people who are in the middle, but there's still a strong core who support.
Oh yeah, you could hear him.
Yeah,
you could clearly hear him. It wasn't like let's go see a Cena sucks. It was let's go Rocky, CM Punk, boots to asses, news to like you could hear them. You could hear that. Yeah. You know, both these guys were liked by certain different groups of people.
But they had this ingrained in their mind that we got The Rock and he's the face and he's the defiant guy and everybody loves The Rock. And Punk's bad now. No one's supposed to like Punk. When every time you try to turn this guy heel, there's people who say this guy...
They like him more.
Yeah. And they like him more because it's like...
he's so good at it.
Yeah.
It's like, why would I boo something that's so good?
Yeah.
Like, why am I gonna?
Let's say John Mayer made a song, about banging my ex-girlfriend.
It would still be a great song.
I'd still listen to it, and I'd respect
a great
John.
song.
Yeah.
I'd be like, wow, this guy's voice is phenomenal.
Yeah, even if it's like, oh wow, he's such a d-bag for making this.
But this is still a really good song.
Yeah, but it's still people would still appreciate it for what it was. That's
right.
what it is with punk.
That makes sense.
And you can't have that dichotomy and try to do it like it's 1994 again. This isn't fucking Bret Hart versus British Bulldog in Wembley Stadium. It's not. I mean, it's not like that at all. Where they have the hometown guy they can go for.
Right.
This isn't like. I guess a better example would be Bulldog and HBK and all the times where it was Austin versus the company guy, where it's like, oh, Austin's the face and everyone roots for him. No, it's a different dichotomy. I could see how it would be different if it was like, the Ryback was the heel. And he was feed me rock,
right.
Feed me rock. I'm gonna destroy you. And then people would be like, no, I like the Rock more.
Mm-hmm.
But you have this, and then I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all. They had that in Cena Rocket Mania.
Oh yeah.
So they wrestled in style like that.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't.
But yeah, this was different.
They wrestled the style that Punk's supposed to be the bad guy.
Yeah, that makes sense. At WrestleMania, they understood that Rock had his fans, Cena had his fans. It's like this one, they expected it to be much more one-sided than they thought it was going to be here, where it was really here.
Maybe they knew it was going to be there,
but they didn't. They had to make us think like, oh no, those people don't. Those guys are drunk.
You look at all the offense Punk had basically for most.
Yeah,
of
he whooped the ass for the first 15 minutes at least.
Yeah, and you sit there that's supposed to be what the heel does to the face.
Yeah, but people were cheering. That's the one thing I noticed in this match. The regular sequence of boo, it was like it was no people were cheering for the guy they wanted.
So
and even I feel like the people that liked The Rock weren't even booing CM Punk, and there was the other they were just cheering for their guy. They didn't give a shit. Like it wasn't let's go see Cena sucks. Like no, we just like this guy. It's like that guy's cool, but we like this guy.
Yeah, it was,
that's what it was like.
It went in there and had a big fight.
That's how I was like, I like CM Punk, but I just like The Rock a little better.
We went in there expecting a fight, and instead we got a wrestling match.
It was confusing a little bit once they got in the ring. I was like, this is submission moves?
Like not even like a wrestling match. We got like an old Hogan match.
Yeah.
Like they tried to book The Rock like he was Hogan. And they tried to book Punk like he was one of Hogan's little fodder heels. Not like a guy who's had the title for 435 days and is dangerous. They should have played that into more where Rock's stronger. So The Rock is pushing him around, and you see Punk's strikes have more of an effect. But we're just wrestling. We don't know what we're talking about. We don't know. It's like we watch the product all the time.
No, we don't. Never have.
No. It's not like we understand basic story arcs and how a match should flow psychologically. We don't know that shit.
Never.
No. No. So, when you have that, it's just like, oh. And then you got the first finish, and you're just... Like, you weren't even pumped. Nobody was pumped. Everyone was just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was when...
Lights go out, and the Shield, you see Punk kind of laughing. It's like, oh, you can't know if it was Shield or not who did it.
Yeah, Michael Cole yelled, it's the but you never see him, so it's like, oh, okay, well...
Exactly.
It's like, you could see Roman Reigns for a second when the light flickered a little bit, but... Yeah, it's like, well... What's gonna happen here? Because the ref because the ref didn't see it, it obviously happened, so we didn't know what was gonna happen. And I was so confused. I was like, I thought it was going to be Rock's 100% going to kick out. Like, it's been way too long.
Yeah.
Like, he sat out there for 30 seconds, then Punk went and got him, brought him in, waited a little bit more, and then pinned him.
Yeah.
So that was my initial thought, there's no chance. Like, he's going to kick out. 1, 2, 3, and it was like, wait a minute. Really? And I didn't dare look at the clock, because I was like, okay, that match wasn't long enough to be where it's 9 o'clock, so maybe something happened, but I couldn't tell if it was early enough to where there was a lot. Apparently there was.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if it was 8:50, and I was like, oh shit. So yeah, we're just kind of sitting here oh, that's kind of weird. They're showing the crowd just
And as a Punk fan, first I sat there. I could pull up my phone. My older brother's like, hey, at least we got this one. I said, nope, we're about to get fucked. And it happened, and it didn't make The Rock look awesome.
Yes, it did.
No, because he went through a table, and then 6 minutes later he was good. So it's like that's nothing superhuman about that. You expect that.
It was a long time.
Yeah. So I mean, they didn't like say, oh well, The Rock's superhuman, but at the same time, don't you want your new champion to have that kind of moment?
No, because then we complain because he's like Super Cena. Yeah. That's the problem with people.
Yeah.
The Rock got up. If The Rock got up in 2 minutes, you would have bitched hardcore. Be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, The Rock can get up from anything. That's why when he did kick out, I was like, okay.
Yeah. See, it's weird. I mean, somewhere in the middle probably would have been better. I actually do prefer, like you're saying, the 6-minute thing.
Right, because it's much better than like, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm out here.
Yeah. But it's like a B+. And but you go into a match like this expecting an A. Mm-hmm. This match was the valedictorian, setup. It's going into the last semester. It's that guy who's got that 4-0 every term. And
he's just chilling like what it is. Oh, and then he takes chemistry. He's like, I can't do this shit.
Yeah, and then he sits there. And
I don't know chemistry at all.
No, it's like an English class where he's just like, man,
you can't write that last paper. You're just tired. You're just ready to graduate.
Yeah. And with that last paper, he doesn't really get the
He gets his point across.
Yeah, doesn't really understand the prompt, and it just falls short in a couple places. And he's just like, well,
I can't give this an A.
You could see the glimpses of why this was supposed to be a 4-0 thing and why this should happen again.
Right.
There's no doubt it should happen again. There's no doubt if it happens again, it's going to be good. But there was, at some point, the execution kind of said.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. Washed out a little bit. It's not like it fell off a cliff.
It
just washed out.
Yeah. Because what we're talking about, Vince comes out and you could tell he was obviously going to do something because the whole point was the whole thing was the Shield. He's like, oh, just because the lights were I couldn't see him, you thought that, I'm just like, Vince, what are you talking about? You're just like rambling for like 2 minutes. He's like, but I told you that I'll strip you of the title, and I'm gonna strip you. And The Rock's like, and The Rock is just like dead fish still out there. I was like, come on, Rock. No, hold on. I was like, dude, come on, stand up. He's like, you ain't taking the belt. I'm taking the belt. Restart this, bitch. I didn't say bitch. But then Vince McMahon's like, I don't know. I'm like, man, what are you talking? Like, Vince sitting there thinking about it, like he was going to say, oh, fuck the fans, we're out of here. It's just going to end like this. Like, okay, see. But yeah, so then he restarts the match, and then Punkster's like, no. Like, freaking out, and Heyman's weakening out. And then even when he gets back in the ring, you were questioning it, because all of a sudden Punk gets the offensive immediately. And you're like, oh, crap. He hits the knee. Only got the bulldog.
No, instead of doing the bulldog, he drove onto a clothesline.
Oh,
he went up to the top rope, hit an elbow drop. And then we thought, oh, maybe that might be it. 2 count.
Yep.
And then go.
That's what it was, yeah. And then he popped up, and he didn't do a submission this time. I'm thinking of.
Went for the GTS.
Yeah, went for the GTS, pushed him off. Spinebuster. That's the only thing that pissed me off. I hate when it ends by people's elbow. That doesn't look like it hurts at all. I hate that. I love the move, like, get the crowd, whatever, but I hate it ending matches. That drove me insane. It's like, I was like, oh, he's going to win. So I was excited, but I was like, oh my God, just rock. It's not that hard, just rock bottom. There was not a rock bottom or GTS in this match, was there? Maybe that's the glimmer that this isn't the end of this. Maybe that's it, because none of them got their, like, for sure finisher. But that's the only thing that bugged me. Trust me, I was happy as hell, but at the same time, like, okay, when I look back at the 10-year break, The Rock won the title, it's going to be by the people. Like, I hate that so much. I hate it when it ends matches. But, so then The Rock wins, and, I kept waiting for something to happen, because there was like 10 minutes left, and I was like, oh, wow, normally they end these, like, right out. So I just kept waiting for something like The Undertaker. So I don't know what I was waiting for, but nope. It ended, and they're on their way to Vegas.
When the lights went out, I was hoping I'd hear a dong.
Oh, that's what I thought, because I'm like, well, the Shield obviously can't come out, because that's the whole, So again, it was like longer than usual, and the lights never came on, and you could just hear people fighting, but the man goes, it's a Shield! I was like, oh my God. Way to go, MC. Way to
he was not on tonight.
No, Michael Cole was. JBL tried to save it. He had some good ones.
He was the Spanish announce table.
Yeah.
Or he was The Rock trying to rock bottom through it.
Oh,
not realizing that the force of him jumping up for the rock bottom
is gonna break it.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucked.
Oh, that was bad. That was hilarious. It's gonna be on Botchamania.
I was like, you guys, you're gonna hurt your knees, guys. But yeah, so JBL tried to say, Michael Cole really, and Jerry Lawler's Jerry Lawler. It's like whatever. We're used to what Jerry Lawler does now. He's the guy that just movies. But so yeah, that was it. It was like mind warping to see The Rock holding the John Cena belt, though. I'll tell you that much. I was looking at it like that doesn't. Like he needs to throw that away and get a new one. But I was so confused. But it'll be interesting to see where this goes tomorrow on Raw. They're in Vegas. They got the Raw Roulette thing. They got a quick build to the Chamber. It's 3 weeks away. So obviously Cena's not going to be in the Chamber. So we'll have to see who gets in the Raw Chamber, who gets in the if Cena makes his decision tomorrow, or if he's going to do the thing where he waits till after the Chamber, which has happened sometimes. Sometimes they just come out and say, "I want this title," so whoever it is. But so I'll have to see that on Raw at least. Who Cena's going to go after? I wonder. I wonder. But yeah, the weird thing about this Royal Rumble is too, there's not a lot of like. It didn't have a lot of. Oh, this is going here. This is going here. Yeah. I still could not. I have no clue what Ryback's gonna be doing.
Oh yeah.
They hinted a little bit of Orton, Sheamus, but Ryback, no clue.
Yeah.
The Shield, no clue.
Ziggler,
no clue.
You know what? Daniel Bryan and Kane.
That might. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, like the big guys. Yeah, Cesaro, no clue. Yeah. Him and the Miz kind of had another. But again, is that good enough to go from pre-show to WrestleMania? Probably not. Like,
Jericho? What's Jericho going to do?
Hopefully this wasn't a one-time thing. Please be back for good. Or, back for like at least an extended period of time. Because that would suck. Because,
They didn't really make anyone anything. What's Punk going to do? Is Punk going to
Exactly.
Hey, well, I beat you. We beat with the Shield. Oh, well, I still beat you.
Exactly. Exactly. We'll have to see where that goes.
I mean, he's going to rematch clause and pick the win again? Don't think so.
Right, and like, are they gonna have The Rock wrestle on Raw? I don't see that happening. So it's just got to be at the Chamber, I guess. But yeah, there's a lot of confusing things because now it's like, are they gonna do just Rock versus? Well, no, they can't because Cena's probably gonna pick WWE, so Rock has to be in the Chamber with those guys. So then what's the other chamber? I don't know. There's a lot of crap they have to figure out. They didn't really set us on the path very well, other than the couple guys where. It looks like Rock Cena are going to be over here. And then other than that, it's like, well, I mean, you still got the guys to plug in, like Brock and Taker if he comes back. Triple H is going to be, but nothing's really matching up.
Why would you rely on that, though, is the thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you going to sit there and say, you know what? Rock Cena did good business one time. So
exactly.
We're going to roll it out there again.
Yeah.
And we're going to see if it does. No.
Yeah.
You had an opportunity.
No matter how good it was, it's never going to live up to it. Taker Michaels, 26. If WrestleMania 26 was the only one, but again, that was a little different because it was the whole. They added something to it.
That's why
they added something to it. Yeah, but it's the belt. But at least with Taker, it's like, okay, Taker's probably gonna win, but at least you're like, okay, Shawn might win because he's not ready to retire.
What if Cena loses this? Oh, what if he loses again?
What makes us think there's any % chance Rock's gonna win at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a contract after it.
Yeah. And the thing, even looking at it from like a perspective, it's like, what does Cena really have to lose there?
Exactly.
He got this, and all of a sudden he's got his one more shot. Or whatever.
Exactly. That's why I wish it ended up being Punk at WrestleMania with The Rock, because then it was more like, okay, we can actually get behind this, because The Rock's going to drop it to whoever he fights. That's the whole point. But it had to be John. It didn't have to be, but it had to be.
It's just what they do. We go in there and we expect them to be like.
I would have accepted Ryback. Like, once it got down to it, I'd have been like, okay, sure, there's many people that I would have had win over it, but when you only have those choices, you're like the lesser of three evils, I guess. And we got, in my eyes, the second worst evil.
Remember when people thought the Rumble was supposed to be a star builder?
No.
And the title?
It almost was.
No.
It almost was with Ryback.
No, because even then, the dude, I still don't think the dude is worth very much of anything.
So close, but it was a star builder.
Yeah.
Just because we don't like him, it still would be building a star. It's just not the star we would build.
Yeah.
So technically, we can't fault them.
Looking back at the history behind it, though, they didn't really ever build us. I saw someone did this on like the Classical or something like that. It doesn't really build a star.
Yeah, not really. You think about it, because by the time they win it, like they're younger guys, but they've already accomplished it. Like Orton won it in 2009. It's not like Orton was a new guy.
Michaels won it 3 times. Vince McMahon won it twice.
Austin
HBK,
3 times.
Yeah, HBK won it twice.
Rock won it once.
Yeah. HBK's might have been the last one. That was when he beat Diesel at the end.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like there's big names, so when they won, that probably is what catapulted The Rock. No, The Rock was already The Rock when he won. Stone Cold was already Stone Cold.
Flair won in '92.
Flair was Flair. Flair's been wrestling since like the 40s. Like, come on now.
Flair had that match with Steamboat back in '86.
Yeah, like that's a good point. Everyone probably just looks at the names.
Yeah.
Oh, that probably built him.
No, it didn't.
Like,
it doesn't.
I think the only they tried with Sheamus. They tried with Del Rio.
Mysterio.
He was already established.
Yeah.
He had been in WCW for a long time. He was already a big star.
Oh yeah. Did Benoit ever win it?
I don't know, because whenever I look at the list, he wouldn't be on there even if he was. So
he had those
Hart and someone tied. I can't remember.
Luger, wasn't
it? Yeah, Luger, and they were Bret Hart was already Bret Hart.
Back in '94, I think.
So that makes sense.
Yoko won it.
Mm-hmm.
Yokozuna, I think, was the only one.
Taker won it in like '07. He was clearly already Taker.
Yeah,
and it's not like every single year it has to be like a new guy. Like Bo Dallas didn't have to. Bo Dallas doesn't have to win every year. Like obviously some years you're gonna have a big guy win so they can go on and have a big match.
But when you had 4 left and the 4 were Ryback, Sheamus, John Cena, and Dolph Ziggler.
Think about
it. Who has the most to gain from winning in there?
Exactly.
Dolph Ziggler.
Can you imagine? If not only for the fact that those other 3 are those other 3.
Oh, yeah.
Dolph beat Ryback, Cena, and Sheamus. That's both.
Yeah. Why? When you're sitting in there in your production meeting, I wonder if they said, well, like we have these 4. You have the guy run it from number 1. That's what created the whole. That's what when Benoit ended up winning the title from.
Benoit did win the Rumble. He won it from number 2.
Yeah. He was in there for an hour and 5 minutes.
Yep.
That made him a star.
Yeah.
That made people think this guy is legitimately a wrestler. He can do.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's
things.
durable. He has stamina.
Yeah.
He's smart enough to outlast everybody. Right.
But nobody remembers who got 4th in the Royal Rumble.
No, we won't remember. We won't remember this 3 years from now. I can't remember the Final 4 from last year.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I could probably try because I watched it like yesterday. But
Sheamus, Jericho, you can remember the top 2, but even then you only remember the top 2 if the finish is good.
Yeah, exactly.
You could have played off the fact that Cena and Ziggler both hate each other.
Yeah,
that he dumped crap on.
Yeah, they didn't even have a interaction when it got to the Final 4. Sheamus just tossed Ziggler out.
Why? You weren't gonna make Ryback was. You're not gonna remember Ryback got second because there wasn't really a cool finish behind it.
Yeah, it just kind of all of a sudden fell over. He just fell off and immediately moved up back to Cena. Like, oh.
Yeah. So.
Right. So yeah, they could have done much different things. Like, I had a glimmer of hope. So I'm like, holy crap, Dolph. Like, I'm not gonna complain. Dolph made it to the Final 4. That's awesome. But, oof.
What do you?
They could have pushed it through. They could have pushed it through, and it would have been wild. And I won the Rumble. I'm Mr. Money in the Bank. Like, think about it.
Yeah, try it. Like he said, I had his promo where he's saying what he could do. Why not?
Why not let him?
Yeah. What's the harm in letting him unify it?
Exactly. It's like if you already have. This is the perfect year too, to where it's like you already have. Rock's gonna be there. Taker's gonna be there. You have all these big match feels, so this is, it's not like if you put Dolph in there, you're not relying on him to headline the pay-per-view. Like, it's not like, oh my gosh, well, if we let Dolph do it and people don't like it, we're screwed. A, people would have liked it, and B, he's not what it's relying on. He would have added a hell of an interest. We'd have been like, okay, Dolph's in here. We would have been pumped for the match. Now it's Del Rio versus like the Big Show or something again, or like just something like that. It's gonna be like, oh, okay, well, whatever. To where if Dolph's in there, he's like an up and coming guy, and it's like, oh crap, this guy's awesome.
It's just like
imagine if just heel move of the century. He walks out there for the belt. They get in a fight for a minute. Oh, he realizes he's gonna lose. Cracks him with the briefcase. Gets to qualified. Cashes it. Pins it. 1, 2, 3.
Exactly.
Boom. Champion. Heel heat for days.
Yeah, and people would remember that.
Absolutely.
Not only that, but he looks to be a smart heel. Looks like somebody uses his brain.
Yeah, he is like, wait, I got 2 shots at this thing.
But the thing is, they don't think about shit like this.
Exactly, because they don't care. They just think, oh,
no, they see
Ziggler, whatever.
They see a cash cow. They see the fact that they have a market dominated, and the fact that they're in a world. I mean, look at television shows that are popular now. There is no hero. They're all anti-heroes.
Yeah, exactly. They really are. Everything's dark and gritty.
Yeah. So you have the John Cena. You see little kids that latch on to that if they're watching wrestling. If they're not watching wrestling, they're not going to watch because it's kind of gay.
Yeah.
The same guys winning all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
John Cena's not exactly cool to tell your friends that you're like.
I love John Cena, man. Yeah. I'm going to wear jean shorts every day.
Yeah. Fuck.
So yeah,
you sit there and they have this opportunity to break through these niches and stuff like that and create something people want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, they rest on their laurels, and here they are.
Yeah.
Royal Rumble 2013, and we gave them so much shit for messing up Punk's reign in 2011 after Money in the Bank. We said, oh yeah, and then they turned that into the biggest shit show of the summer, where they had everyone walk out and all of that dumb stuff.
Yeah.
And then we thought, oh, there's no way they could mess things up as bad as this. They add The Rock in there. You take The Rock out of this equation because he's a guy who said I want to come back and do this.
Mm-hmm.
They're fucked.
That's true.
If you look at it, he's a guy who's not going to stay.
No, not for an extended period of time.
He's not going to be there.
That's what they have to realize at some point is you can't, like, you need to book stuff with the idea that they're not coming back. If they come back, okay, that's extra. Come do this thing instead. Yeah. Like, it's almost like they think of storylines like, well, we don't know what to do, so hopefully we can get him to come back, and then we just plug in the holes that we don't know how to fill because we're not smart enough.
Yeah, it's like they do Jericho. They throw in the random stuff.
Yeah,
they seem like they have no problem throwing Jericho into things.
Yeah,
he commits to doing house shows and being around for 8 months. But
I hope it's that case this time. I hope it wasn't a one-time thing. I'll be pissed because I love that guy. I miss him.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't change the stripes of the zebra. And no matter how much we think that because you get some little nice little collar and you try to dress it up and you have this little edgy thing where it's CM Punk and people are like excited for the product again, and you have a different group of fans who are alienated that come back, you can't expect them to be anything different than a zebra that relies on superheroes and movie stars because they think it's still 1988. Is that when Vince thought everything was going good when they had bodybuilders running around and all that? Rocky 3 is not coming back out again. You're not going to get your biggest star to look like a superhuman in a movie that everyone's going to watch. It's not happening. I'm sorry. This seems like... Yeah, I thought I did bad in my strategic management capstone sim when I lost a lot of money. I should just... Wrestling's so much easier than the censor business. Take us home.
But yeah, sorry but not sorry, because we had a lot of good points. It's not like we were rambling. We're just trying to, let you people know the biz. But yeah, that was the Royal Rumble 2013. We got John Cena and The Rock probably coming up unless somehow something happens at the Chamber. We can all hope for that. But The Rock, after 10 years, is back. He is the champion. Where is it going to go from here? The road to WrestleMania has started. If there was a sign, I would point to it. But there's not. Subscribe, like, comment below what you thought about this show. We will see you later.